I know a lot of you guys are extremely curious. Should you go for the legendary artifact or you should go for Elminster Aumar? We're gonna do the breakdown in today's video and see which one of them is worth it more for your account. Before we move over to that, I just want to say a big thank you to Dragonheir for sponsoring today's video. If you guys haven't tried Dragonheir Silent Gods or you're new to the channel or you want to help and support the channel, you can download the game by using my link in the description down below or in the pinned comment, or by scanning the QR code you see on the screen. Dragonheir is a cross-platform game available both on PC and mobile. You can download it from the Epic Store, from the Steam Store. They have their own client. It's available on Mac, on iOS, on Android. So you can play it wherever you want, whenever you guys want. The second phase of the Dungeons and Dragons collaboration event is live in Dragonheir Silent Gods, guys. After the debut of Drist and Earth to the Beller in the first phase, we have two new powerful mages joining in. One of them, of course, will be Elminster Aumar as a legendary hero, and he will come together with a legendary artifact, which is actually a pretty strong one. We're gonna have a new boss, of course. Elminster will come with his nemesis, Semester, and this boss looks pretty badass. Not only that he looks badass, but he will have two different phases, and yes, he will be pretty challenging. New monsters, guys. We're gonna have the Dracolich right here. We're gonna have the Draconic Stone Golem, and of course, we have more cosmetics, the new dice skins, which, by the way, they look pretty sweet. This will be the new event, guys. Tons of awesome things going on. We have the new Sage Baggage Pack. We have, of course, new map. We have a new campaign. We have a new storyline. I've heard your question loud and clear, guys. If you have the possibility to only go for one of the following, either the legendary hero, either the legendary artifact, which one of them will provide more value to your account? That's exactly what we're going to discuss in today's video. Now, Elminster himself is not a bad hero. He's not an OP hero either. So it really depends how big of a fan you are. You know, like you really want to get a champion on your account over the legendary artifact just because you love the hero. You just love Elminster in general, right? So he will bring you a few interesting debuffs, a few interesting buffs. He has Enlightenment Aura. The passive is not great, so this is actually pretty weak, just giving you resistance. But then this one right here is actually a very nice battle skill. Grants shield to the hero and surrounding allies for 5 seconds with control immunity. So this is definitely a pretty solid skill, considering that the shield that he's generating is actually pretty solid. It's not a weak shield, you know? So it's not bad. Not many champions have this on a battle skill. I can't really think of many being so crazy except Felocia. Then you have the ultimate. This gives you accuracy penalty and decreased attack on enemies, AoE. So there are quite a few different options for the fire element. Heroes that can do very similar things with Elminster, okay? So we're going to discuss a bit about that now. We have Chrysos. He's a legendary hero as well. I don't personally owe him on my account. I am on a test server right now. But you guys know the drill with him. Defense aura for City of Trials. He has this passive. When the hero's shield is depleted, or dispelled, or vanishes, 50% of the shield is consumed and converted into healing. Then you have the battle skill. Casts 3 holy fire attacks, each dealing attack fire damage to enemies within range with a chance of dispelling a buff from them. And grants a shield to the ally with the lowest current HP. So only on one ally rather than all of your team. The ultimate dispels all enemy shields and deals attack damage to them with a chance of inflicting attack penalty. Meanwhile, grants a shield to all allies for 10 seconds. So the shield right here is pretty good too. It's 25% of the target's max HP. And you have attack penalty on the same skill. So when we are looking now at Elminster, he's not very unique as a champion, right? He's not something that, wow, will completely change your game. Then let's just look, for example, at a different hero. And this time around, we're going to look at an epic hero. And that will be, of course, Adolphus. Now, Adolphus is well known for being one of the craziest epic support champions in the game. If the target already has a shield when the hero grants them a shield, additionally heals them equal to 75% of the shield granted. The battle skill grants a shield to an ally and increases their ultimate energy. So this will go usually to the ally with the lowest HP. Again, it's only one ally rather than the entire team. But this is a battle skill. Now, the ultimate skill. deals damage, and grants a shield to your entire team, okay? Now, the shield is very similar in terms of value with the shield that Elminster has on his battle skill. The only difference is that Adolphus will generate the shield and cover the entire map, the entire grid, versus Elminster that only does basically 2 tiles in distance from him, front, back, sides. Then we have Isolde. Isolde, she's another epic tank. She has a defense aura. Shields granted by the hero reduces allies' damage taken by 15%. Now, this would have been an awesome passive on Elminster. Then you have the battle skill that deals damage to the current target and grants defense up to all allies within range. They need to be in 1 tile distance from her, and it's the smaller version of defense up, but still is a pretty good battle skill. And then you have the ultimate, deals damage to enemies with a chance of inflicting attack penalty, meanwhile grants a 14% max HP shield to all allies. So Enlightenment will not increase the shield on her. Now, we already have quite a few different heroes that do something similar with what Elminster does. So that doesn't make the character very unique, right? He's not something that, oh my god, if I'm missing out on him right now, that's it. There's nobody else that can replace what he does. And keep in mind, all of the 3 heroes that I just showed you are from the exact same element, the fire element. Now, when we are talking about artifacts, okay? I am on a test server, so I currently own every single artifact in the game. You only have really 3 artifacts that enhance the shield, okay? You have the Aurelium Vest, which gives you HP and defense. Shield granted by the wearer to an ally also reduces the damage done to the ally by 17.5%. So this is basically damage reduction. Now, when we're talking about this, the damage reduction artifact, you can actually play around by using a gear set that will give you damage reduction, by using a buff that will give you damage reduction. So it's not something that cannot be replaced either, you know? You have replacements for this artifact by playing with buffs or with gear sets. Then we have, this doesn't really do much for you. It just gives you a shield at the beginning. It's nothing to do with the actual value of the shield or something like that. But when we're talking about the other artifact, well-known artifact that influences the shield, is the Anti-Nias Tiara. It gives you defense and enlightenment. The wearer grants 15% more shield, so bigger shield. This as well, guys, is unique. Is the only artifact that does it. Of course, leaving on the side the new legendary artifact. But this is a 15% more value on the shield, and is an epic one. Now, when we're talking about the legendary artifact, that comes from the new Dungeons and Dragons collaboration event, A Guide to Magic by Elminster. This gives you HP and 120 enlightenment. Every champion that generates a shield usually uses enlightenment 2 next to the target's max HP. We're going to go over a few different characters in a second. But this artifact is unique, is a one-of-a-kind, and it cannot be replaced by anything else in the game, unlike Elminster as a legendary hero. The shield effect granted by the wearer is increased by 25%, so it's 10% more than the Anti-Nias Tiara. On top of it, is increasing the duration by 30%. So if you have a shield generated for 10 seconds, you're going to increase the duration of that shield by additional 3.33 seconds, right? So that is already absolutely game-changing. No other artifact can do this. So that's why my conclusion, my advice is the legendary artifact should be the main priority for every single one of you guys out there. Not only to mention that it's extremely hard to put your hand on a legendary artifact, but it's even harder to put your hand on a legendary artifact that is unique and on top of it is limited. So you won't be able to get this legendary artifact after ever again, and it's the same with the legendary hero. Of course, if you have the resources, if you have the possibility to get them both, do it. That's what I'm doing on my account. But if you only have the possibility to pick in between either the legendary artifact, either the hero himself, I would strongly suggest you go for the legendary artifact rather than the hero. And then maybe down the line you will have another chance at getting the hero in the next couple of weeks for the entire duration of the event. Maybe you have a change of heart. Maybe you're getting lucky and you're gonna summon him by using a lucky Heliolite dice. That's what I would suggest you. And let me know in the comments down below what's your actual take on it. The reason why I'm saying it is because the hero, while he is a good hero, he has 3 more competitors in his own element. Not to mention the heroes from the other elements. So if we are talking about characters like, I don't know, let me just go to legendaries. I don't think I have them all leveled up, but let's just talk about another epic hero, and that will be Nathaniel. He is an epic hero from the lightning element. He generates shield as well with his ultimate, deals damage to enemies, and grants a 10% target max HP, shield, and defense up to all of the allies, okay? For each enemy hit by the skill, the shield increases by 10%. So you can increase the value of his shield and increase the duration of his shield because the artifact can be used literally on any character you want. It doesn't matter, okay? So by having this one legendary artifact, you can basically empower 5+ characters on your account. You might have them now, you might summon them in the future. Maybe we're going to get even more characters that will generate shield in the future. So the possibilities with the shield are actually plenty. While the possibilities with the hero, they're not as many, right? Because yes, you can use the hero. The battle skill is very nice. Don't get me wrong. I love the battle skill, and I think it's going to be useful for a lot of people. But I just think that the legendary artifact, it will be at least 50% more useful for people than the legendary hero. So I'm gonna leave it here. That's kind of like what I wanted to point out. There are plenty of champions that buff shields, guys, and I just feel like that artifact is just going to benefit you more. Felocia, she already has damage reduction, right? While the hero is alive, 50% of the damage taken by an ally will be converted into a shield for them. Then you have the battle skill grants shield to each ally within range and grants them defense up. And again, it's 10% targets max HP and enlightenment. That artifact will empower Felocia even more. The ultimate grants even more shield to all of the allies with damage reduction already. So you don't need to stress so much about the damage reduction, the vest or something else. This new artifact is going to be super powerful for every champion that generates a shield in the game, That's my take on it, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, how I mentioned. And I'm very curious to hear what you guys are doing. So I'll be starting a poll on my community tab with a couple of questions. You're going for the hero, you're going for the artifact, you're going for none. I wanna hear your thoughts as well. That was all for the video. Thank you to Dragonheir again for sponsoring today's video. And if you guys want to get involved with Dragonheir Silent Gods, or you want to help and support the channel, you can download the game by using my link in the description down below, or in the pinned comment, or by scanning the QR code you see on the screen, and join Dungeons and Dragons Legends in Dragonheir today. Appreciate all of you guys watching. Peace.